Hey there. Okay, to be serious for a moment, you've just watched our Safe Hearts video, and I want to give you my feedback and my testimonial on it. I know the video told you the statistics, but as a mom and as somebody who was abused myself by a close family member as a kid, I want to give you my take. So I've also talked to some parents who I put the question out there, are you talking to your kids about protecting their bodies? And a lot of people are nervous about it. Everybody has different ideas about when to start talking and kind of what that conversation needs to look like. I recently read a book that I absolutely love. It's called Ashlyn's Story. And in the story, it's a real story. My very close girlfriend, her niece wrote it. And in the story, the mother makes sure she's always talking to her kids from the time they're tiny about protecting their bodies. Don't let anybody touch your privates. Don't let anybody touch your privates. Don't let anybody touch your privates. But I think a lot of us are having a very limited conversation with our kids, because what ends up happening in Ashlyn's story is that it wasn't somebody touching her privates. It was somebody making her do something to them. And the mom just didn't know she needed to be having a bigger conversation. She thought she was having the conversation she needed to have, not realizing it needed to be a lot broader and a lot bigger. I know a lot of us, me especially as a childhood victim, I get really worried about scaring my kids. You know, I don't want them just to go through the world thinking everybody's out to get them, right? And so having a conversation in a way that is going to empower them instead of frighten them is really, really important. And these books, I'm going to tell you right now, there's the, there's the parent guide, and then there's the kids books. Even these kid books are more for the parents than for the kids. Yes, you're going to sit down and you're going to read them with your kids after you've read them yourselves. But we worked up to that. I read the books and it gave me a lot to think about. I started changing my conversation with my kids. I kind of started slowly putting out these ideas to them, these concepts, and started changing the way I talk to them before we jumped into reading the book. So even though obviously these gorgeous children's books are meant to be read with your children and they're very engaging stories with your children, my son loves them. He totally stole my demos from me. They're really more for the parent to give you a solid foundation and resources to have these really important conversations that go so far beyond stranger danger and don't let anybody touch your privates, right? It's so much bigger than that. So these have really helped shape the conversation and start a much bigger conversation in my family. And I'm hoping they can do that in your family and families all across the country. If you have any questions, just let me know.